Iceberg Slim, aka Coach Don. Today is a happy day, a celebratory day, a holiday. Because One Piece episode 1100 dropped, and it's everything we ever asked for. Sorry, I just had to digest what I just watched. Today we're gonna be hopping on IG Live with my guy Anime Goo. We're gonna get his thoughts. We also gonna get some amazing thoughts from some cosplayers and see what they tapping in on. So let's do this. What's up, IG Live? It's JV TV Anime. You are on the YouTube Live as well. We're gonna be tapping in with my guy Anime Goo, discussing One Piece 1100. Shit was insane. Gotta get all my guys' opinions on this because it was honestly some of the best anime I've seen in a very long time. A very long time. Okay, boom. Invite. Okay. Who else can we get on here? Boom. Invite. What's good, gang? What's good? It's crazy shit going on right now. One Piece 1100 was honestly some of the best anime I've seen in my life. Can't wait to get my guy Anime Goo's opinion on this. What's good, buddy? Let's see. How do I? See, we're gonna get our guy Anime going here. If I can type that shit on my laptop. Hey man, I appreciate that. There's some live shit we gonna get to today because Anime Goo got me. After watching this episode, definitely gonna confess some things. Definitely impressed with a lot of things I saw from a lot of people. Super cool. My guy just hit me and told me, I'm sure he'll be here soon. What's good, chat? What's good? Glad to have y'all in. So far, what did y'all think about episode 1100? Bet. I'm super set up. Like 5-10 away from the cone. That's a bet. That's cool. Shit, anybody here reading the chapter lately? I think we just got a week left. Lucci is him, not gonna lie. Very smart to get rid of some Martin. Nah, yeah, that was crazy. What's up, bro? I was about to come in there and wake you up. Glad you got some good rest on you. Be safe on the way home, my guy. That's a bet. Lucci is him, not gonna lie. Very smart to get rid of Ceramon. Very true. Me and Trader Pro honestly forgot that shit happened in the manga. Oh yeah, I seen that too. Yeah. Strange guy. Your friend. But yeah. Smoker is a straw hat by January. Do I want to see that? Because I don't even doubt that. That's a very strong possibility, just based off how the writing of the show is going. Because I do think Smoker is coming back soon, but I don't. Fleet Admiral Smoker, Fleet Admiral, Fleet Admiral Smoker ain't going to join Straw Hats fam. So join Straw Hats is a strong term, but I definitely see them fighting on the same side. Damn near how Law and Luffy did together in Wano and Dressrosa as well. If you do want that, catch yourself smiling like you. I don't. So boom, I'm thinking about it, and I'm not like it's not a terrible idea as far as the structure of the show goes, because as we've seen in the past eras have done the same thing. But I feel like for Smoker's character to really take a rebound from once we seen him last, I need you to stand on business. You can't want to go with the ops after getting your ass whooped that many times. I need you to at least come back with some Rob Lucci energy, because Rob Lucci ain't joining nobody. Because that's not gonna work. But yeah, man, I hope Smoker comes back stronger. I haven't seen what I need to see from him as of recent. Can't wait to see more. But today's not a stream to talk about Smoker. Today's the day I'm going to give props to Rob Lucci. Fucking with a lot of shit I saw in the anime. I'm not gonna lie. As I was telling Cheddar Pro earlier, I think episode 1100 is probably some of the best anime I've seen in my life. Shout out to the studio, because I was a little sad when I realized we was about to leave Wano and leave that amazing animation. But this one isn't like leaving much to be desired either. This is some top-notch shit. Every bit of it, every pixel, every frame. It's been peak fiction. So yeah, I really just can't wait to get all of y'all opinion on this shit. Cause I'm not even like just tapped in with the anime like that. I be getting so fulfilled from the manga sometimes. I'll just take a small break on the anime and then just binge it and catch up. But right now, the shit that's going on, and just me comparing that to what's going on in the manga right now, and thinking about that being animated. Yeah, I can't fucking wait, man. He the only Navy to tell the girl said to stop. W Energy. Who you told girls from Mars where the serpents are located? Who you think can handle the serpent? So keep it a brick. I really feel like any of the girls say damn near wash any surfing. Like maybe wash might be a strong word, but I feel like it's nothing more than mid diff. Nothing more than mid diff. Off of the small things we've seen already. It's nothing, especially for the horse nigga with the sword. I can't even remember bro name right now, but it's light work. It's like that. Croco can handle 3. Can Croco handle 3? Like 3 of them individually or 3 at the same time? Definitely gonna need some context on that one, because that's insane. Croco over Mihawk is the new agenda. Oh, I hope not. That's not something I'd subscribe to. Please tell me different. Yo, what's good? Got my guy Captain Nika in the mix. Yo, what's good, my guy?
Gucci, chilling. It's good, man. How you living?
Yes, sir. Shit. Hey, tired, but very, very fulfilled. I'm not gonna lie. I been working all week, but to come home, watch 11-11. So yeah, I gotta give props to you, my guy. Thank you. I gotta give you really a shake in the hand for even just reminding me to watch this episode. Cause like I told you, I'll be missing the episode sometimes. The anime, I'll be behind on the anime, but I like stay up to date on the chapter because it's so fulfilling. But
Yes.
watching this episode, I was just telling the chat, I feel like it was some of the best anime I've seen in my life in like a really long time.
To be fair, critically acclaimed, this episode has been rated the greatest One Piece episode of all time. Do I agree? No. It's the greatest animated episode. Yes.
Who gave it? Who accredited this?
I might have sent it to the Final Saga chat. If I didn't, I'm gonna send it. It's this guy named Goat Brandon. He does like anime news, and he was reporting like the ratings from one of the like most popular sites watched that the anime watched.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's 9.9. My favorite episode is 10-15. Just saying.
Is that that's Wano when he's fighting Kaido?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is indeed Wano.
Crazy enough, Wano, as of right now,
Red rocked him. That's the episode Luffy Red Rock Kaido shit. Told him I'm gonna be king and surpass you and this old hag next to you.
Oh, I know exactly what episode you're talking about. So this is the episode when he walks over to Kinemon as well, and Kinemon asks him to put
the walk.
Oh, so yeah, that's also my favorite episode of One Piece so far.
My God,
because that watching that was in. So boom, honestly, damn, I didn't send it to my laptop. So it's a picture I saw on Instagram today, and it said who did it best, and it had Luffy, squaring up to the two Yonkos right before he walks over to Kinemon. It had Goku and Vegeta squaring up against Jiren. It had who was the last one?
What's good, Blue? What's good, Dev? What's good?
Who was that last one?
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Like the stream, send it out to a friend.
Damn, I wish I could go to my fucking Instagram. That's cool. Fuck it. I can't think of the last one, but just off of no, you know what? It was Naruto and Sasuke versus one of the alien dudes, I think. So I want to get your opinion on that.
Ishiki or Momoshiki? Which one? I gotta know which Shiki it is. Ishiki or Momoshiki?
They were both in their
final forms. They both fought them both in their final forms. They dominated one person and the other one dominated them.
in this panel, there was what's that shit called? Naruto was in his KCM form and his Nine-Tailed Fox like big form, and Sasuke was in his Susanoo.
And it was big as well.
Yeah, exactly. It was he
dog walked them. He dog walked them. I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay, so what was the better scene or better panel?
The One Piece one, man. I'm gonna go with One Piece all day.
All right, so that was also my pick, and the main reason I thought so was because I feel like in the other two, it's straight action, straight to the point. But this nigga Luffy was just on like such a different time. He was like, I'm not even about to respond to you niggas talking to me because I'm about to go talk to my friend first. Then I'm gonna go handle you weak ass niggas what you did to my friend.
Yeah.
But I'm about to go have a conversation with my friend, and then I'm gonna deal with you niggas.
I like how Zoro noticed it. Zoro was like, "Oh, that's where he's going. Okay, bet. I'm watching his back."
Yeah, back door.
I love that vibe.
Exactly. All of that was chef's kiss. So that's why that's also my favorite scene. So yeah, we definitely on the same page there.
So let me ask you something. Did you have a problem with any of the added scenes that One Piece added, that Toei Animation added to the fight with Lucci and Luffy?
Never.
We did.
I never.
We didn't get. Yeah, I wasn't mad at it at all. Like even because my thoughts was that even if he fought him in base, that's how that fight would go. I always felt like that.
Yeah, I think so as well. And just watching it, it was like, I don't know, man. Perfect's a strong word, but like as far as how I would want to see that fight start off in base, that was perfect and like a great lead up to, all right, but now I'm gonna go into my shit, and then it's gonna knock some sense into you. Then you go into your shit now, and then we really gonna like, get into it. And I feel like how it ended, Luffy put a staple into it on some quick shit, damn near how the manga kind of went, in a sense. Like when they got to the end of the fight and they were all in their awakening forms.
I'm not saying no to you. Sorry about that. I was saying no to Blue's message. He said episode 10 2 solos, your 10-15 agenda. Cat. But okay.
Which episode is that? What they do? 1071.
1071, 1072. That's the that's Gear 5 Awakening. My problem with that episode is they kept running back the same scene too many times.
Okay, I
Like
did.
they replayed Luffy Awakening like 3 different times in that episode. Granted, it should be that way because Gear 5 is that important. But at 1015, Yamato, Ace, the Roger, Sabo, Oden, Whitebeard. Come on, man. It's
pretty compact.
It's compact, and it was a cinematic. It was cinematic as fuck, bro.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. That's tough. But yeah, I think when they got to their awakened forms, it started panning out more like the manga. So it was them like the best of both. I feel like they did it perfect.
They did a great job. They did a great job doing that, man. They did a great. I can't wait for Garp and Kuzan. Oh my gosh, Garp versus Kuzan gonna change it, bro. I want to see if Kuzan is really gonna be gone for half an hour. I do want to see that because when Garp put Kuzan in the blue hole, by the time Kuzan came back up, Garp had already destroyed the town. He already put the giant in the water. He already sent the shit back to the water. Hibari is damn near unfrozen already because remember, she got frozen by Kuzan. But when Kobe gets back on the ship, who's the one hugging Kobe? Hibari. So all that ice, I froze her shit. That shit, all that ice, I froze her stuff is done. You get me?
Yeah.
Blood could chop it without me cussing. I want to see what really happens with Kuzan in the anime with Toei Animation, if they're going to add any added-in scenes to emphasize on Kuzan in the blue hole. Because when he's in the blue hole, what basically happens is Garp sends the ship back to the water. They unfreeze Hibari, technically. Then, if you think about it, they freed up all the slaves. He already amassed what everyone that's there to be with him on his side, and then to make matters worse, Kuzan is just like he come back, his cape is gone, the whole town is changed by the time he gets back. So what's happening with Kuzan? And is Kuzan going to be using Conqueror's coding? Because we know Garp is using coding when he's matching that punch with him.
Right.
Is it all when Kuzan matches that punch with Garp? Are we going to see when they hit each other in the face? Are we going to see that Kuzan's using coding? Are we not going to see that? What's going on? We do know he's using armament on top of Devil Fruit ability, or Devil Fruit ability on top of armament. So it's a few things to unpack. That I feel like the anime always lets us know what's actually going on. That's why Oda co-signs it, not only because it's for business, but he actually trusts the adaptation of the anime for the manga, even though he sees it as its own separate entity. Kind of different how Toriyama viewed Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball whatever compared to the actual canon manga. He holds more validity to it. Farichi Oda holds more validity to it. So let's see what happens. I think it'll be real good. Kaz Garp asks Kuzan to unfreeze. That's true, but I don't think they ever actually got to unfreeze her. I think she had to get the treatment to get frozen, kind of like how we saw it done with Robin and Luffy when they got frozen by Kuzan pre-time skip. Mm-hmm. So it is kind of good to note that we could see that they were able to unfreeze her. It didn't take them forever to do it, but Kuzan had to be in that blue hole for a long time. Not a long time, but battle-wise, that's a long time. Hashinosu's kind of dismantled by the time Kuzan gets back. Mm. Even though Garp pulled up dismantling it.
Type shit. How far do you think we are from getting that animated?
20. Between 10 and 20 episodes.
So they're all gonna stretch some shit out. That makes sense.
But we still gotta finish going through Kid and Shanks, and we haven't even gotten an introduction scene to that. And shout out to Gooba, me and my guy Gooba, we were actually kind of researching how long is in between those two intervals between Kid and Law, with their individual fights, and we get to see Kid fights someone like Shanks, but they get the introduction scene, and then it's like 8 chapters later we get to actually see the fight play out. Where with Law, we saw it kind of all unfold for the most part of it. We're only gonna get the ending of the fight, right before we get to the Kuzan Garp thing, I think they give a flag. They go right back to Garp, not Garp, but to Law and Teach. And Teach is kind of like, oh, should I sell your fruit? Should I take your fruit? What should I do with it? And then we get that kind of unpackaged. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Side note, is Trey with you right now?
No, bro, just pulled up to the crib. We just shot the a reaction to that episode though.
I see. Good. I see. I didn't know y'all were doing that. Dang, but facts. That's hard. Good. Yeah, get that. I already seen it though, like 3 times. So glad y'all getting that reaction to it.
When did it come out?
It came out yesterday.
Okay, bet.
It's been crazy. Plus, I be having to upload stuff to the Mugi page, which I've been slacking on lately. So I had to upload a clip of it this morning, and I should have did one more post besides that. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna just do this one for right now. Because tomorrow I'm gonna hit them with the I'm uploading another clip with me, you, and Rob. From the live that we had did. Facts. I know I've been milking the Rob clips, but goddamn,
so that was good content. We was spitting that one. We was spitting.
And shout out to Rob, he not here, but my boy was just on the agenda piece reverie with JD Legend, King of Lightning, Morge, Parvision, Raj Ace, Randy Troy, all the big YouTubers. He was just on there with them boys. And I know Rob was talking about doing his own reverie, but I'm glad to see he could take part in the actual cultural reverie, because that's one of the reasons I started doing this content shit in the first place. I always watch the reveries, and I'm like, yo, I want to talk with these guys. Yeah. So that's one of my goals, to kind of get where he's at right now, as far as like talking with people like the One Piece Talk Show and all that. Like, I feel like we got that same type of energy. We could do that too. So I think it's dope that Rob is somebody who collabs with damn near anybody. If you know a thing or two, Rob will collab with you. So I really fuck with Rob, man. Shout outs to him. And plus he showed out at DreamCon.
He do that every year.
And they closed off his event. They said it was too full for capacity. And Rob saw me, and I started walking away and everything. And the security guard was like, nah, he said you could come in. It's full, but you could come in. I was like, yo, Rob is a real one.
Super solid.
That's real shit. Rob is a real one. I fuck with boy. For real. But yeah. There's a lot going on right now. It's a lot going on. I feel like that episode kind of gave a lot of light to. Did you actually take a pic? When you get a chance, go on TikTok. Like, just look at the frames.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. This shit is crazy.
And because at first I seen it and I was like, bro, this is too good to be true. This is too.
He looked good. They made Lucci look. Even when Luffy blitzed them in base, Gear 5 base. They keep it really consistent, because Lucci getting blitzed by Gear 5 and base, Lucci should probably be like, a little bit, but even Luffy was like, yo, pigeon guy, what's up? Like, I know that's not enough to take you out. Like, where you at? And then Lucci was like, all right, that's so you're so annoying. That's what you want to do? Bet, awaken. That was fire.
I got stronger too, nigga.
Yeah, that was fire. It kept it consistent, because I know everybody was saying, I think Lucci has enough forms and enough battle experience that he could combat Gear 4. So I'm glad that Luffy went Gear 5 form. It kind of made it let us see, like, he's even speed wise. Lucci's losing this fight, but speed wise, Lucci's able to keep up with him regardless of how many times he's getting hit. He's able to actually run up to Luffy and actually stay on his body. He's not landing the actual hit, but he's staying on his body.
Lucci was moving. That nigga was moving. So yeah, man. I watched the full episode, and I came to a conclusion that moving forward, this episode was so damn good. I'm gonna stop the hate train agenda I had on Lucci and everything that I've been seeing from him in the manga as of recent.
Yo, this is character development. Everyone that's watching this, you see, this is character development for Coach, guys. Real.
Because I'm a fair man.
2 weeks ago, Coach was telling me Smoker's not getting no development.
That's not what I said. That's
what you said. I fuck with my guy, though. I was telling my business partners about you. Real shit. I was like, yo, my guy is really... he's the person I'm probably locking in with when I do this stream and shit. I already fucks with you, man.
No, most definitely.
This shows you're willing to admit when you're wrong about some shit. So that's
100%.
dope.
I'm a
wrong
super fair guy.
shit. I tell people all the time. I'm wrong, but when you debate, when a lot of people debate, a lot of people don't actually show their growth. Like, they don't say, hey, I was wrong about this. I was wrong about that. They let you know when they right every time, though.
Type shit.
You know what I'm saying? So when you could admit, yo, listen, even the anime was making Lucci look a little decent. I gotta give him some credit. I gotta fuck with
and more than a little decent. Like the anime, it looked, and everything moving forward is canon. So even though what was portrayed in the manga, the anime is canon. So Oda says he gives the nod to this, then it's the nod to this.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I think Lucci was portrayed in a great light. I think Lucci was scrapping. The animation was fucking incredible. I think the frames were impactful. It was not. It was some shit I seen on Twitter. I don't even know if this is true or not, because this shit also seemed insane. It could be fake. I don't know. But in some of the impact frames, it had one frame of like this viral meme on Twitter of niggas like just excited in a
I seen that. Yeah, I seen that. It looked like it's really in there. It looked like it's
really in there.
They edit this in there. Let me go back and look. I looked. I was like, yo, that you could say that. You could say that. Facts.
Because if that's true, that's insane. Like
insane, bro. They're Toei Animation. Shout outs to you. Probably never see this, but shout outs to you. You guys, despite what they say about the anime, I first got onto One Piece with the anime, not the manga.
Same.
I watched it all the way to Whole Cake Island before I ever read the manga. And then I read the manga at the end of Whole Cake Island. And then Wano was my first experience reading through a full Oda arc. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was a visual watcher. Same. I don't be having time to read shit 9 times out of 10. If I'm reading some shit, it's probably some shit to paying my bills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he handled that shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Toei Animation, they really handled it. I'm gonna have Swell cut this too, because I feel like we need to do some segments just giving credit to people. You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Man.
I'm with that. But yeah, like I was saying, man, I'm a super unbiased guy. If I see some shit, that shit gets added to the bank. Lucci, yeah, from this day forth, I got nothing foul to say about Lucci. Handled himself crazy well against Gear 5. And the base fight was a treat itself. Like just to see that again after so many years. I'm glad they did. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm glad they didn't wild out. Like you didn't need to show Gear. You didn't need to show him using Gear 3 attacks and trying to do like, oh, I'm like Gear 4. Don't show none of that. Just show them boxing a little in base and Luffy. Because if you're a true fighter, you could understand another fighter without like you fought him enough to know. Damn, okay, bet. I took him like this in base. You know what? I fought him before. I'm going to respect him. I had to go all out. I don't need to do Gear 4, all that. I'm going to go straight to Gear 5 off my respect for him. And plus, you could sense the person's hockey at the time that they're fighting. So you could tell this guy's an immensely strong character. If not immensely strong, he's strong enough to where let me go Gear 5. Yeah, I can't play with him. I know Gear 5 will beat him. Let me just go Gear 5. I'm going to have fun with him. And that's Luffy. Luffy want to have fun. We know what time he's going. We know what time it is. That's facts. And also with that, because now and I see like the anime is actually catching up to all the live shit that's been going on in the manga for a while now. So I'm seeing, okay, boom, this is really the first time in the anime Luffy just goes Gear 5 since the Wano shit. So now it's also showing like the anime watchers, I can low-key kind of control this whole little bit mode. Yeah, because he called on it. He called on it himself. You know, I like how he did it. Like he stood and he thought back. It felt like he was literally thinking back to what happened with Kaido, and he was like, "All right, bet. Let me see if I can draw upon that feeling again." And he did. Right. You know, he's a true warrior. He's a fighter. He's gonna remember the sensation he felt the first time he did it. He said, "I feel it. I feel it." He started wilding out. Started spazzing. Monkey King, the monkey vibe they gave to him with the beating on the chest and shit, like we need to see that. He's Monkey God Hanuman. You know what I mean? Like that's literally what they put in Road to Laugh Tale for his lore. So I'm glad they got to put him in there and really doing that. You know what I'm saying? So boom, another thing. I was thinking about something you said as I was watching this episode. And it's crazy because I'll be forgetting sometimes that the anime will add extra shit and not just for fights, like extra like info shit too that not in the manga sometimes. Which is another reason why I need to get back on the anime weekly. But I call it necessary filler. Exactly. That's what I know for it. Like it's filler that's necessary to fully explain what they didn't have time to explain in the manga. Right. So you never know. Oda probably set Toei information like this is what for the anime, go across this, but make sure you detail this. You never know. Yeah,
We
that's
don't know
exactly
how
how I
they do.
looked at it. I think so I was thinking about what you said last week, and it was like Oda didn't do a good enough job portraying that Luffy would turn into the Sun God Nika figure, right?
Okay.
And I thought about that, and I saw in this episode, they went really in depth because they had Vegapunk tell the Straw Hats damn near a lot of shit about the 400-year void, and he was like, "This is who this person is. This is Sun God Nika. It's not surprising that you haven't heard about him because he's been erased from history." So, do you think that reason could be a good enough, I'll say, crutch to not foreshadow Luffy becoming this figure as much?
No, it does play into it. It really does play into it. I can't ignore that factor, but it's the inconsistencies of it. Like, you try to do this, but then you always have. Remember how they noted? Oh, the D has become more aware by the people because they have things like in the newspaper, it's Gold Roger, but they weren't able to hide Marshall D. Teach. They weren't able to hide Monkey D. Luffy. You get what I'm saying? So we're getting noted to the people of D. So I would have been okay with you hiding the lore of the D family, the D tribe. I feel like for Luffy, the government didn't need to know about it. Like if we had got something noted more, even by the Giants, about the Sun God, it would have been cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just any type of, like, from the fishermen, it could have been nothing but Neptune saying, "My wife is like a warrior of liberation." Like all we needed was just a one line. If I'd have gotten one line, folks, I would have been cool. I've talked to other people within the Discord where they felt like, oh, if like, shout out to my guy Yusuf, he feels like Oda should have not deep dived it, but he should at least semi gone over it. I don't feel like it needed to be semi gone over. I felt like if you, like I just said, if you just added in that one line of Neptune saying it, or Fisher Tiger saying it, or somebody calling Fisher Tiger that because he was trying to enact that, I would have felt okay, because that would have been like, that's more than enough. I feel like for everything he's done, he added just almost just enough for the foreshadowing. Almost. Even with Frankie, when he wore the shirt that said Hito, but then the O had the sun around it. It was like, oh, Sun God. And that was in Zoe. He was wearing that shit, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like you're giving us the lore to it. I really love the lore to it. The Sun God, shout out to Blue with the Sun God connection, and then we got the lore of the Joy Boy connection. But the Sun God connection wasn't enough to connect the Joy Boy connection. Luffy's supposed to be the connecting piece. I felt like the Warrior of Liberation title could have been. It's something you should have put forth there for those three connecting figures. Because now that we connecting everything, we go around and we see back, okay, that Luffy is this significant figure. And it goes back to even Dragon. When Dragon is like, yo, that's a pirate? That's what you want to be? Go ahead, be that. But we still don't even, I don't even know if Dragon knows what Luffy's fruit is. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
Tangent. But going back to what you said, I think there's enough lore to it, but they should have just added at least one or two more raindrops.
But if he adds those raindrops, say Fisher Tiger, or who was the other person you said? Oh, King Neptune.
Yeah, because he's talking about his wife, Queen Otohime.
Right. So if he adds those two from those specific people saying it, wouldn't it diminish how secretive this title is, or how ancient this personification is? Because this person is so recent to the current past line. This is like hidden information from years ago.
Not in the way that I'm seeing it. And the only reason I say that is because Warrior of Liberation. The title of Warrior of Liberation literally could have been given to anybody. Dragon could be a Warrior of Liberation because he's literally trying to liberate people with the Revolutionary Army. That's why that's the title that I'm locking in on. When you see people like, if he would have said more about the Sun God, I feel like one more clue about the Sun God would have gave it away for sure. One more clue about Joy Boy would have gave it away for sure, especially after we see the straw hat that's hanging around with Emu. Emu got a straw hat, a giant straw hat hanging around. Like, okay, what's this?
Yeah,
we were already seeing that and like, all right, something's not right here. Let's go with the straw hat vibes. We know. But the Warrior of Liberation, we never kind of got that kind of detail. We got Blackbeard using a technique called Liberation with his Yami ability, which kind of made us speculate a little weirdly for him. Then you got someone like You got someone like remember the Long Ring arc, where he was like, everyone is all the things that are on this island, they grow like they've been liberated. It was kind of cool because Luffy acts like that, but we never got no note towards Luffy being that. We get that just after we see Alabasta play out, Dressrosa play out, and his lobby play out. We get to see that Fishman Island play out. He's literally trying to liberate people. But this is after the fact. We're starting to see things, right? If you would have noted just War of Liberation, that's why I think it would have been crucial to call Fisher Tiger or Otahime. One of those figures should have been given that title because they're literally trying to liberate Fishman Island and make it be an island that is foreseen at, people of the sun or whatever. And Fishman Island has a lot of lore towards the sun god. Even what you say, like the sun pirates, the people of the sun. Shout out to my boy Alex, because he likes to say, the lore around the people of the sun pirates, all of that is hints towards the sun god or gathering people towards towards a religious sense or direction. Yeah. I just would have noted like the War of Liberation if you would have name dropped just the War of Liberation before, because you got to think about it. We don't get the lore to sun god Nika until Who talks about it with Jinbei, who is a fishman, 10 chapters before we actually get the full-on 10, 15 chapters before we get the full-on reveal of the sun god Nika. So just being able to hear that one point would have been like, okay, that's fire. It would have been like, I full on fuck with that, because we would have got one lore drop as far as Warrior of Liberation, the title of it.
Right. Do we get a Sun God Nika quote in Skypiea?
No, we don't. They just talk about Sun God. They just talk about the Sun God and shit like that, and it's really kind of like, we sacrifice somebody to Sun God. So that's something there to mislead you of the thoughts of the Sun God, which is why I love that Oda did that. I'm not mad that Oda did that part at all, because I feel like it should have been there to throw you off rather than fully bring it back to like, oh, this is what the Sun God is. You don't the lore towards what Mother Caramel did in Elbaf when she gathered all the fire and they said it was like the act of the sun god. That's more better. That's more like, okay, that's Luffy shit. Like create, like being able to hone in on an ability. Mm-hmm. That's different. I could fuck with that. It's really the general sense of now that we got people have to sacrifice. Where did that come from? When did that get lost in translation with the people of Skypiea, the Shandorians? How did they take something that was they're protecting poneglyphs and all that? How do they believe in that? Sacrificing the sun god for the sun god. Is there a negative outlook on the sun god that we don't know about yet? Is Luffy not? Like now I'm speculating, even right now I'm speculating like there's gonna be some type of catch about the sun god. Like let's wait to see what happens. So. You know what I mean? If Blackbeard is that catch, let's see what happens though. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm a little sauce, but you feel like you feel me.
No, I'm for sure catching what you're saying. I think,
the stream if you guys are joining and you like what we're talking. If you want us to talk about something else, shoot, say that. We're not stubborn people. We'll give the people what they want. Tell us what topics y'all trying to go in on. Like, talk to us, guys. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like the stream.
All of that shit.
All that. Big on Flash.
It's no break for the anime next week, right?
Not that I know of.
Okay, and the manga's coming back next week as well, right?
The 1100, this 1100, but nah. Let's talk about this real quick. My boy Google's been bringing this up for a while. He's been saying Smoker for Straw Hat by January. He knows my position on this. I want to hear your position on this. Like, there's a few people that people think are going to be Straw Hats. Let's talk about that. Let's start with Smoker. Let's talk about that.
So I was letting the chat know before you pulled it up that I seen the same statement, and they tried to convince me that it's something that I'll be for. I stated that I wasn't against it. Personally, I don't think this exactly gonna happen, but I could see it happening in the sense of Rogers boxing. Guard boxing with Rogers. So I wouldn't be mad at it in that way. But personally, I want to see Smoker develop. I used to be a Smoker fan. I want to see Smoker rise himself to the occasion. So to me, I don't want to see this nigga tuck his tail and crawl his ass to the Straw Hats. Fuck that shit. Lucci ain't pull up on no let me join your crew shit. Fuck that. No, nigga.
Yes,
The last
sir.
time we seen you, you was getting passed around. And that's not the way I want to remember you. You definitely cannot draw the straw. That's done to some KD shit. You can't leave the Thunder, go to the Warriors after we was smacking you around.
This is what I'm saying to you, because if you look at all the lore behind Smoker, I know it sounds crazy because I'm talking about lore and Smoker, but if you actually look at behind all the lore of Smoker, Smoker is actually the one Navy officer we get to see his rise and how he powers up and how he actually is getting stronger and making good positive moves. He became a Commodore because of what happened that he was a captain. We get introduced in Captain Smoker, right? Captain is the whole level we redeemed because Captain Cody. We get Captain Smoker, and then even in Ennie's lobby, remember all the fodder we met at the end of Ennie's lobby? They were like, "Oh, all these guys are supposed to be the same level as that guy Smoker." Cool. Think about that, because then the next time we meet Smoker, Smoker's stronger than all those guys that were in Ennie's lobby now.
We talking about CP9?
Say it again.
Oh, we talking about CP9?
Yeah, CP9 at first, but then remember when they were on the bridge and they were fighting off the fodder when the ships were surrounding them before they jumped to go on the Mary? Remember the whole rush right. thing that happened with Zoro and then the motherfucking all how some of them had like devil fruits and stuff like that. They were saying that they were all captain level, all Navy officers. Right. Smoker, right. We see Smoker he was supposed to be to that captain level at Alabasta. Next time we see Smoker, he's above that captain level. He's Commodore fighting a Gear 2 Luffy, still sunning a Gear 2 Luffy. Gear 2 Luffy and Marineford got sunned by Smoker, and Boa Hancock had to intercept and save. Thanks. We see that happen. He Commodore Smoker. But that rank, we're like, oh, you got that off that false information from Alabasta. That's not really nothing. Cool. Time skip come. Smoker comes back, shades, 2 cigars, gas mask, looking dope with the, different hairstyle.
I fucked with the character design. It was dope.
He got the Admiral jacket on. Like, he got the, the Navy Admiral Justice jacket on. Vice Admiral Smoker. Now, before we see everything that happens to him on that island, remember, he rose from Commodore, which means he had to pass the rank of Rear Admiral to get to Vice Admiral Smoker, which he did on his own. No false information. He went and did that on his own. There's actually a panel. I forgot the chapter. When I remember, I will tell you about it. There's a panel after he becomes Commodore where we're getting to see Smoker, and he says how he's been training, and we get to see him. He's bringing in pirates that he captured, and he's already at this rank. This is after Alabasta. He's already at this rank, and he's like, oh, this is before I think it was before Marineford. And he's basically saying how he's been training, he's been doing this, and he's been doing that. And Tashigi's been training as well. Mm-hmm. No note on Tashigi, but we get to see Smoker when he got back to Alabasta, or not Alabasta, to Marineford. Smoker's still able to outdo Luffy. Right. And it's not just that he's a Logia, he's just still able to keep up with someone like we know what Gear 2 Luffy could do. And pre-times, Gear 2 Luffy has certain capabilities. You know what I mean? He's able to do certain things. He's able to touch CP9 officers. Right. Rob Lucci, when Rob Lucci landed on a ship, he told the Vice Admiral that was commanding the ship for the Buster Call, said, hey, none of y'all stand back. This is Rob Lucci, the man of the Dark Justice, world government, blah, blah, blah. Smoker's supposed to be at that level, if not above that, next time we see him in Marineford, because he's still outdoing that same Luffy. It's like, oh, shoot, you're not realizing how he's moving up on the scale. But because he's been absent now, but watch this, right? Let me ask you, just for a narrative standpoint for Smoker, right? Would you want Smoker to get a power with nothing serious happening to him?
Serious happening, like life-threatening or like?
Yeah, life-threatening. Yeah, I would want to see him grow.
I mean, shit, I feel like that just happened.
That's Punk Hazard.
Okay.
Watch this, right? Punk Hazard. You literally have... He fought unconscious. This is just stuff that plays on his conscience. He falls unconscious to Caesar Clown when Caesar Clown gets the drop on him and Luffy. That's how they wake up in the cage in the prison. Yeah. Oh, then you gotta literally think about the whole fact that Luffy saw him in Tashiki's body and said, "Yo, you not ready for me right now. You in a whole woman's body. It's not you. We not gonna have this fight." You get what I'm saying? So like, there's just a lot of notes that you could. And the last time they fought was Marineford.
So let me ask you this, because I got a statement to say about the Marineford shit, but I think the Punk Hazard statement is a very good moment. Because me personally, I want to know how do you think the fight would have gone in Punk Hazard if Luffy and Smoker got to fight and he wasn't, like, if he was in his original body? How'd that fight go?
See, this is the thing. I'm gonna try not to rant because my boy Blue told me I've been ranting. When he fought Virgo noted that Smoker wasn't fighting at full capacity. Virgo noted, like, yo, why are you like,
okay,
yeah. So it's like, okay. And Virgo's confident about his haki though. It was the other things that has an effect on the sense of battle. I feel like Luffy would have most likely still have won, but it would have been still a tough fight. That's all I could say. So I would have still at least reached a high div.
Okay, high div. Okay, so this is where I think we differ again, because I look at that fight as a low div. I'm sorry, not low div. I mean mid div. That's what I meant to say. Definitely not trying to disrespect Smoker, because like I said, I'm a very unbiased guy. But I will add this. Jumping back to Marineford, Smoker is definitely overpowering Luffy. Anything pre-Marineford up to Marineford. Personally, I think a great deal of that has to deal with Smoker's Sea Stone weapon, because it seems like anytime he does have the upper hand on Luffy, it's not really because of his fruit or his strength. It's mostly because he's got the weapon. And I'm not gonna take points off for that, but I think it's definitely something to be noted.
It's a hat. I don't think you should take putting points off for it either, because I don't. It's like saying Zoro could. I believe swords do more damage than this, so Luffy could hit you with a Gum Gatling. I do too. You take 100 punches and you can still get up. Zoro hit you with 100 slashes, you're not still.
Nah, for sure.
That's still my take. I still agree with that. That's why Zoro gets those little moments, because he's a swordsman. That's an ability hack for Zoro. For sure. He can cause different damage than blunt damage. Same thing I note for that same thing you're saying. So let me ask you a question. So what do you think is Smoker versus Law? What difficulty was that?
So before I jump into that, I see in the chat he said that's like taking away Zoro's swords. So like I said, I'm not trying to take off points for Smoker having this hack weapon, but I think when it comes to power scaling these characters, or saying like who's stronger in a 1v1, when we're talking about Luffy and Smoker, I think we got to add context of just because somebody's winning a fight doesn't mean they're necessarily stronger. The strength and weaponry are definitely different. Like I said, I'm not taking points away, but just because he's overpowering Luffy in that moment with the Sea Stone on top of him might not possibly mean he's necessarily stronger. That's why I got them going mid-diff in Punk Hazard with or without the Sea Stone thing. But like I said, I do think Smoker got stronger between... I definitely think Smoker got stronger between Marineford and Punk Hazard. I just don't think he got strong enough. So we can say he took off on Virgo. That's fine. That's cool. But he definitely didn't take off on Caesar. He didn't take off on Doflamingo, and he didn't take off on Law. Those was genuine ass whoopings. Or L's. No, we can just say L's.
Because after you gotta remember, he took the ass whooping from Doflamingo after the ass whooping.
He did. Virgo. So but even if he took that one first, it would have went the same way. Or do you disagree?
Say that again.
I said, but even if he took that ass whooping first, it would have went the same way.
I mean, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's Doflamingo.
That's what I'm saying. So the order don't matter to me.
That's the only thing I say about it. Because that's just from factual. That's just from factual information, right? I believe if Smoker is full health fighting Doflamingo, that fight is an extreme diff. Even if Smoker was to lose.
For who?
For smoke, if it's an extreme diff, Smoker versus Doflamingo.
No, it's an extreme diff for Doflamingo?
For both. Oof. I'm talking about extreme diff, period. Like, you could win a fight, you could lose a fight, but at the end of the day, if it's extreme diff, I believe it doesn't matter who really wins or loses because it's extreme diff. Like, Kuzan versus Akainu. Akainu won, but it was 10 days in extreme diff.
100%. 100%.
I think Kuzan is Fleet Admiral level. I say that straight up.
No, I agree with that. I
think Kuzan is. I really started thinking about it. I used to have Shiryu over Kuzan. That sounds crazy, but I used to have Shiryu over Kuzan. I really value swordsmanship highly. And I think Shiryu is still going to be like that. I really do. After Van Auger's pulling up and just popping Cracker like that, I think Shiryu's going to be like that.
For sure.
And granted, Cracker was injured, but I still think Shiryu is going to be like that. Smoker versus Dolphy, they flashback on Smoker losing his weapon.
I got that being mid diff for Dolphy. And that's no hate towards Smoker. I just feel like Dolphy showed me so much during Dressrosa.
It is because you should have at least gave him a high diff. But I'm okay with you.
But Dolphy can do so, like, his ability is so diverse. Like, he can make clones of himself. He brought his heart back to life.
What difficulty is Doflamingo versus Law? What difficulty was
today
that for you?
Oh, in Dressrosa?
You could take both rounds in Dressrosa, put them together. What difficulty do you think that was for Doflamingo? Did you think he won both times? But what difficulty was it?
So, all right, let's talk about the first round when he was getting smacked up all around Dressrosa in broad daylight, then getting shot, then getting his arm cut off. That was super low diff.
Wait, but see, this is the problem about it because all these fights have what's the word I'm looking for?
Context,
but it's another word. Caveats. Okay. All these caveats. Fuji's in the middle of it. That's an admiral.
He is.
Law has to escape from an admiral and warlord. So it's like, it's not even just like, dang, I can't. Even though, like, when he fight Doflamingo 1v1, he's already exuded mad stamina trying to get away from meteors dropping, helping the Straw Hats. Like, he's all types of shit. Like, you get, well, granted, the Straw Hats won't happen after the 1v. No, that happened before. Yeah, that happened before. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He did mad shit. Law's over here diverting meteors and shit for Straw Hats and cutting meteors and all that. And then when he fights Doflamingo 1v1, I'm tight. I can't be mad. Doflamingo did half the job Law did because he had Fuji's help. So that on his stamina, that's credit to Law. That's why Law used to be one of my favorite characters. So I used to argue this shit.
He's one of mine, which is why it was hard to see him go out like that.
Like, we can't just shit on Law. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I said, like, to me, that's why I said it has to be a high diff. When I look at Smoker versus, that's why the crucial question here is Smoker versus Law. Because you still didn't answer that question. What difficulty was that for you? What difficulty was Smoker versus Law?
Smoker versus Law today? Oh, back in Punk Hazard. I can't even just remember every scene right now, but it definitely wasn't nothing more than a mid diff for Law. Like it was
I'm very cool with that answer.
It was one sided. Like,
I'm very cool with that answer.
Like, it wasn't just like over. I mean, Law started. It was a crazy arc because they started the arc off showing us what Law's been doing, what he's been up to.
Now here's the caveat for Smoker in that fight. Smoker, while fighting Law, has to worry about his men. He's over here telling Tashigi, stay out of it. He's over here telling them, yo, you got to get out the bubble. You got to do this. There's not contingencies. There's caveats for all this shit. Oda knows what he's doing. That's why I argue. If it was Smoker and Law just right there by themselves, I believe Smoker's taking him to a high diff. He doesn't have to worry about his men being in Law's room and Tashigi jumping in when she's not supposed to because her hockey's not ready. He don't got to worry about none of that. He's just focused on him. The problem with the fight is he got to focus on there's a lot of other shit to play in, and he's doing that. He always does this. At the end of the day, Smoker is someone I see being an admiral. So
he's going to be an admiral for sure.
When I look at admirals, the admirals always have some type of weird caveat for why they can't go all out. Smoker's supposed to be an admiral, and I'm looking at him, and they're giving him the same play. He can't go all out because this is what's at play. This was going on. That he's mentally nerve fighting Virgo. even though he's enraged, he's still mentally nervous. The same thing people say for all that other shit when it comes to the other characters that the mental nerves play in for. Same thing with Virgo and Smoker. And Virgo noted at it. Like, you're not fighting all the way like you really could. So it's like, that's why I think Smoker's like that. He just never got the time to really show it. And he has to come back now and show it. And as far as the Smoker, I've been thinking about it. Shout outs to Goopa. But the Smoker for Straw Hat thing, Alex was right earlier when he said that on Discord. He said, if Smoker would have been heavily involved in this arc, it would have given some credence that Smoker being probably on the road to being a Straw Hat, maybe, depending on how he would have came in during this arc. But for the sheer fact that he's not in this arc, just off that, it's kind of hard to put him into that category because he's been gone out the story for so long.
So, if you got Smoker and Law going extreme diff.
Not extreme. I didn't say extreme.
You said which is
I still think Law wins it. I just give it to Smoker. I think he establishes a high diff.
High diff. Okay, so you also had Smoker and Luffy and Punk Hazard going high diff as well then.
Yeah, that Punk Hazard being able to go. I think Smoker's capable of high diff. He has a C prison stone weapon. He's good at hockey, and he's a low diff. He should be able to sustain a high diff.
That weapon of war. All right, let me ask you this: if he didn't have that weapon, do you still think it's high diff, or does it drop to mid?
It could drop to mid because that weapon is a hack for him. So yeah, it could easily drop to mid. Take away any character. If you take away any of Law's crucial hack abilities, a fight could tear down for him now because Law wouldn't be capable of doing that feat.
Okay, fair enough.
Like if you take away Shock Willie from Law or Gamma Knife from Law, you're taking away anything that's internal destruction. Anything that's like an advanced hockey feat. And you need that in the New World fighting seriously.
Just like you were saying with Law, he's got so many abilities. You take one away, he got a few tricks in his bag.
Yeah, he do. But so depending on the character he's fighting, you can have a few tricks in your bag depending on if you're fighting a mid-tier character, a high-tier character. But if you're fighting somebody who's very relative to you or in that realm with you, depending on the time frame we're scaling, yeah, you don't want to lose too much of an ability. You feel me? Like just like that. That's like saying take hockey away from Luffy. There's no Gear 4. There's no Gear 4.
So this is my problem with. I don't want it because I feel like hockey or things such as this, it's like more so like a common thing. But a sea stone weapon, the only person I really know with this is like a super hack. Smoker's the only nigga I know with this in the show. Like we've seen Luffy get trapped in sea stone prison, like cuffs and like a cage or whatever. Okay, but an actual weapon is pretty different.
I'll take away a facet. Take away Future Sight from Luffy. If you take away Future Sight from Luffy, if you look at put Luffy on Onigashima, he was still looking through the future and was barely able to dodge Kaido.
That's true, but that's again that's
if you take away the Future Sight, he can't do it at all. Now Kaido's saucing him up. Onigashima was done before.
And I agree with that. But like that's again another thing that multiple people have. Like it's lots of people in the show that can achieve Future Sight or at least have the primitive version of the hockey for it. But the actual sea prison stone weapon is damn near one of a kind in the show that I've seen far. Like if other people had those type of weapons, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But like, it's still
one of a kind. Law's fruit is one of a kind. You take away any one of his abilities, it's still a one of a kind thing.
It is.
So that's the thing. You take away Zoro. If you take away one of Zoro's swords, we know like dang, he needs 3 swords to really do what he needs to do. So if he finishes anyone with 2 swords, we know where they're at.
For sure.
So Smoker, it does beat you without the sea stone weapon. What does that say about you now? That's the whole. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Like I said, I'm definitely not mad at it. Definitely not shaving any points away. I actually fuck with it. I think it's a live fit for his character. It's unique as fuck that he has that weapon. The author showed a flashback of Smoker losing his weapon, telling us his weapon is his primary weapon. We cannot take that away from him.
Look, Blues even noted. He said Doffy beat Smoker because Doffy attacked Smoker's men, and then Smoker had to see. That's what I'm saying. Look, I don't think that's the full reason he beat Smoker. I really think it has a lot to do with Smoker getting that ass whipping from Virgo before, for sure. I think now though, this is what, because I watched a scene not too long ago. Smoker, Doflamingo doesn't go at Smoker. He goes at his men, and the Smoker has to intervene. That's the problem. Same thing for Law did. Law went at Smoker's men, and then Smoker had to intervene. That's literally what keeps happening to him all the time. He's never come in and got a straight, clean out fight. We've never seen that. Now, when I look at movies like Stampede, I definitely don't take it as canon, but the portrayal of where characters are and what they're doing, I definitely think has canon creep. Smoker seen infiltrating a pirate banquet as a pirate. I think the next time we see Smoker, I wouldn't be surprised if Smoker is like undercover. Like I wouldn't be. I'm just saying, like just for narrative points, I'm not surprised if that's what he's doing.
So, how do you feel about his type of low gear? I think Smoker has one of the livest low gears in the fucking show. Like I said, when the show first started, I was a huge Smoker fan.
Hasn't shown how live it is yet. That's the only problem.
And that's fair. I feel like we haven't seen his max potential.
How the Corey's doing with Smoker?
The same thing with Kid. I feel like we haven't truly seen Kid's max potential with the type of ability he has yet. I think Oda's portraying his ability in a very unique way, but it could go far more in depth. Like it's some like Magneto shit to the side. It's a lot of different shit Smoker could do to make his power like that much more OP. But the show's not over yet, so we might get that. So, like I said, I do fuck with Smoker's ability. I think his low gear is fucking fantastic. To answer the other question, you said in the flashback, it says his primary weapon. You can't take away his primary weapon. I understand that. I think how everything is a reference to what my guy Animegu was saying. You take away one of Zoro's swords. All of Zoro's swords are important, but when he's got 3 swords, he's at his strongest. Definitely agree with that. Now, me personally, I look at all 3 of Zoro's swords as individual, but equal, right? So he's got multiple which one do you think is the strongest? The Wano one?
Wado, Ichimonji, and Enma are of the same grade. Kitetsu is a grade. Kitetsu the third. It's the lowest grade sword he has.
The one he got from Wano?
That goes into my whole Zoro gets a dragon.
Oh, because he just gave one of the swords back.
Yeah.
So before then, did you think they were equal?
They would have all been on the 3. They would have all been on the same level.
Okay. Yeah.
Wado Ichimonji isn't black, and Enma isn't black, but Enma's close to being a black blade, but both of them are the same grade. That means when he turns them both black, they're going to be supreme grade. Now, when he gets Kitetsu a black blade, it wouldn't be supreme grade. It would just be the grade that Enma and Wado Ichimonji are now. So that's why I would like to see him do something more with that sword. If he was to get a double fruit for a sword, like Oda said in the SBS, just playing around. But if he was to actually do it, it would have to be for Kitetsu, because Kitetsu isn't the sword. It isn't of the grade that it needs to be. Now, the funny thing about Kitetsu is, I don't think he should lose Kitetsu, because a lot of people were saying, hey, he should lose it. What if it breaks again? This, that, and the third. Kitetsu was given to him by a shop owner. And that shop owner said he wished his dream is to have a sword wielded by a
amazing, great samurai,
a great master swordsman. Zoro's not a great master swordsman yet. He's like a master swordsman or whatever. Well, whatever the title he said, whatever it was. But Zoro's not the greatest yet.
Yeah.
I feel like Zoro has to take that sword with him just to help accomplish that man's dream. No cap.
I would like that. I think
Oda's the type to care about that in penmanship. So I think Kitetsu should go forward and being like and Zoro has the whole theme of the dragon and this, that, and the third going for him because he's the only Japanese person on the ship. On top of that, Kaido's supposed to be dead. Is he coming back? People have been arguing, like me and my guys were arguing on Discord. Will we ever see like Momonosuke awaken? We might not see Momonosuke awaken. You know what I'm saying? It might not be enough time for him to actually awaken. So if we were to see that fruit awaken again, especially if Kaido doesn't come back, I would think the best way for him to awaken that would be the same way you awaken will be getting the Black Blade, because him getting the swords have wills of their own, and they have to awaken and all that. That's how I think that's the whole thing. They have to achieve, the swords themselves have to achieve an awakening for them to enter that black blade state. That's what I believe. I don't think it's just Haki. I think it's something to do with the actual Kenpo and the sword itself, because the swords have a will of their own, and devil fruits have a will of their own. So it's like, all right, awakening kind of makes sense now.
No, definitely. Shit, you giving me a lot to think about. I honestly wouldn't want to see Momo awaken, only for the fact that the timeline, it wouldn't make, he would be getting it too fast. And I feel like that's something that takes a long time that you gotta really train for, embrace your Haki, get shit. It wouldn't be enough time for him to get to that feat.
Kaku had 2 years. See, my boy Blue just said it. Yeah, Kaku had 2 years, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's impossible for you to get it until like awaken. I would just think you have to match up with exactly what the devil fruit actually wants and needs to be. That's what I would say.
I'm with all of that. And he said Toki said Momonosuke can do it in 3 months. Don't sleep on Toki and Odin's son. So this is what I think. This is my whole thing. Kaku did it in 2 years. Momonosuke, although he appears grown, this man is still a 9-year-old boy in mind and heart. I think Haki plays a huge reference with the embodiment of like your soul and like in maturity as well. I think we got to look at the MC. He didn't awaken until what is he, 20 now, 21? I think
Luffy 19.
He's still 19. I thought he was 20 now.
Nah, he started the story at 17.
Right.
2 years later, 19.
Okay.
Luffy, young nigga out here, man.
So yeah, and we actually saw flashbacks of Luffy training. He'd been working his shit since before Momo. He was younger than Momo.
Because he was a kid.
And he didn't awaken in months like that.
But he also didn't have a Yamato with him either.
That's very true. That's true.
The biggest problem with this, because Yamato you could jump forward. Like you went to not knowing how to do nothing to doing flame clouds out of nowhere.
That's very true.
Yamato could increase the percentage on mad stuff. Then he's there with samurai and all that. So swordsmanship ain't nothing but a thing for him either.
So
he's a hack himself. I'm gonna be honest with you.
How long do you think it would take him to awaken, if he were to?
Momonosuke?
Yeah, awaken Kaido's devil.
I would want to say 6 months.
6 months.
Half a year, buddy. Hell yeah.
So by the time we go to the last war, he
could already use voice of all things. Think about that. I had a theory that like when he like had to hold up Onigashima so it wouldn't fall. Mm-hmm. Remember how Oden in the anime he held up the table so the scabbards wouldn't fall down, and then he had right when he made his announcement and he jumped off he pushed off the scabbards. He did like a Conqueror's Haki. He activated his Conqueror's Haki, and then he hit him off. Okay. I was thinking Momonosuke was going to get Conqueror's Haki. Who knows? He did the whole speech. He said, "My name is Kozuki Momonosuke," in front of Kaido and all them. He had all the moments for it. He just never actually did it.
So I also am someone who thinks Momonosuke is eventually going to have Conqueror's Haki. Now the voice of all things, that I don't even want to not trope, but that attribute to his character, I feel like is more of a natural thing. I don't even know if it's honestly no, because I don't even think he can really just control it yet. As far as this awakening, that's something that's going to have to be trained and honed to where you're not just going to accidentally start picking this up. Now, I think Yamato is definitely going to be a huge help.
I'm just saying.
But it's like, damn, a few months.
He just got turned into an adult. He making burrow breaths out of nothing.
You think Ace's fruit was awakened when Ace had it?
Say it again?
Do you think Ace had the flame fruit awakened or flare fruit awakened?
Very possible. I believe so. In his Viva card, it stated he sustained the power of the sun when he used the technique Entei against Blackbeard. The problem was he was fighting Blackbeard. But if he's not fighting Blackbeard, who is he not? Who is he not being able to take out commander level with that ability? Ace was where he was supposed to be. Ace was him. Think about this. Ace got out of Sea Stone handcuffs and was matching Kuzan in Marineford, beat up.
Ace is
context to that. If he's matching Kuzan beat up in Marineford, we see Sabo able to push back Kizaru. Yes, it was from a movie. Cool. You can say what you want. All right, but if Ace is able to match Kuzan, why am I not thinking he can't match Kizaru? The only reason he couldn't match Akainu was because of a devil fruit thingy, or whatever the case may be. But outside of Akainu, who else was he not being able to match up with at the time? If you read the Ace novel, you know what Ace was about. You know the future sight, you know the armament, you know what he was on. Demon Inferno, you know Ace was on Demon Time. Legit. He had to earn that tat on his back.
How long do you think it took Ace to awaken?
Hold on. You see that? It says get Ace past pre-times, get Smoker. If you know the true translations, you know they fixed the translations and they just to give Smoker clout. Smoker actually got out in the real translations to that. Smoker actually is supposed to get outdone by Ace in Alabasta, and then Ace moves on. But they fixed it when they brought it Western. They fixed the whole shit. They tweaked it and all that and did whatever they wanted to do. But that's unnecessary Ace hype. But since you wanted to, Blue wanted to get slick, so I had to, you know what I'm saying?
Was good. I seen a question down in the chat earlier. Say, what's the JV stand for in JV TV anime? The JV stands for Just Vent, because we are advocates of mental health awareness, and we need everybody to just vent their problems out sometimes, whether that's to a friend, a neighbor, a peer, could be an anime watcher. We all love One Piece. That's something that brings us all together. Just vent to it. Whether us or anybody, if you're going through some shit, because we all going through shit. Shitty world sometimes. But yeah, hopping back into the chapter, I'm definitely not against anything you're saying, especially when it comes to Ace. Like I said, that was one of my Ace. Honestly, Ace is my favorite character.
Still, at like what, 10 years old, 11 years old?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not mad that it's not happened. It didn't happen. But if Momonosuke would have got it, I wouldn't have been mad at that neither. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. Honestly,
young ages. Ace and Yamato were the only ones that we saw had it from like 10 years old type shit.
I would have been cool with Momonosuke getting it. Honestly, when he was giving his speech and saying his name, if it did like a little spurt of his shouting out at the end of his statement, that would have been live. And like just a few people fell out in the audience, I would have been solid, and then he would have been confused and shit, and you know how the trope plays out. I would have fucked with that for sure. I don't know. I'm definitely. It's not impossible. Maybe just because I don't see. I feel like the squad is damn near too OP if we give Momonosuke a fucking awakening right before the big war. I don't know, because I know Yamato's pulling up. I know a 5,000 platoon pulling up.
I don't know if he's gonna get an awakening either, so I can't even sit here and paint no picture for you. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Shit, I ain't banking on it. We just speculating and talking, so I was giving you my thoughts, but I'm not banking on it. Like people like Fujitora, I had that conversation for more. Like if we were to talk about admirals that might have conquerors, I would say Fuji's definitely one that might have it. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't no thing. We just speculate on mad people that we think should have conquerors if we want to get into it. Sabo is somebody I believe should have it.
Honestly, it's only right, because then that's the full trio.
OT, I could argue OT just off of her attitude and what she's shown. I wouldn't be mad if she was a conqueror.
Which one is OT?
Toby Robo, the girl
with the dinosaur horns.
Just the page 1 in OT.
Right. I could see that. Definitely not her brother though. He doesn't fit the criteria. Chopper should have it if he gonna conquer all diseases. Unfortunately, I can't tap in with you there, big bro. Can't co-sign you there.
Crack conquers hockey, but no one ever wants to admit it. But he has it.
Cracker has conquers hockey.
He definitely does.
It's news to me then. I mean, Cracker's a very strong individual. Even like Aside from what people think about the fight with Luffy, even like what they were saying about Cracker in the news, they was like, he's one of them ones. So I'm not mad if he does. It would be believable. It's fair. So does Van Auger have it?
Nah, he ain't showing nothing for it at all. Cracker
Taking-
actually has panelings, and actually, even in the anime, like he has, when he showed up, he pulled up, he actually used it. And people just don't want to call it that, but that's what it was.
For sure. Don't you think taking down a nigga with such with Conqueror's Haki with such ease would validate that you would have it yourself? Or it has to at least be necessary for you to do so? To take him down, how you take him down?
First of all, Cracker was injured.
He was. So how what percent do you think Cracker was for that fight? Because he was injured, but
he definitely still, in the cover story, he was still bandaged up heavily from gear. His whole torso was still bandaged up heavily from that Gear 4 attack. The anime just didn't show that. I don't know why the anime.
Oh, you say he was still injured from the Luffy fight?
Yeah, he was. He was still done in. He was in the cover story right before the niggas pulled up. So he was done. Clear for that Tank Man shit. That really.
What's the gap between the Luffy fight and this Van Auger stuff that's happened? How long in between?
Happened right after they left, or during when they was there. But
okay.
I would say it happened right after they left, because the whole crew wasn't there. They went as soon as it happened. After that it went to go to Wano.
Okay.
Don't forget, One Piece, the time spans be mad short. It's barely been 3 months since time skip started, bro. Remember that? It's barely time been moving. You feel me?
I got you. Okay, that's super valid. Super valid. Not mad at none of that. I think okay, it's fair not to put not to give Van Auger that feat just yet. He'll still have to show us a little bit more, but he's definitely still.
I could have been really strong armament. Like, there's mad possibilities that could have been. It could have been a gun that was just extra strong. It could have been mad at shit that Oda could have put there and be like, yo, boom, that's why his bullet was like that. But
I think he's putting Haki on his bullets.
He was just injured, so his biscuit soldiers wasn't that strong. We've seen that. Like, even when Green Bull pulled up on King blasted off a couple of lasers. And then he had to get out of his hybrid form. He couldn't sustain his hybrid form because he was still injured from the fight that happened a week ago with Sanji. His ass was still bust. King didn't even try using his double fruit ability against Green Bull. He knew what it was. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I feel like it makes perfect sense that Cracker, that's how they double fruit tied it. They couldn't sustain the stamina wasn't good. Everything, they was still fucked up. Same thing when he goes for Cracker. He clapping, he making biscuit soldiers, but his ass still bust. Biscuit soldiers is fragile, bro.
Do you think that Van Auger's using Haki on his bullets?
It would make sense. He's supposed to be a Blackbeard pirate and supposed to be up there like that, and he's supposed to be the one that fights Yasopp, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he should definitely be using.
So he's gonna fight Yasopp and Usopp.
Red hair pirates gotta fight the Blackbeard pirates. That has to happen.
Well, it's gonna, because Blackbeard is gonna fight Shanks. So
so Yasopp and Van Auger gotta trade.
So who does that fight happen before the Blackbeard and Straw Hats fight?
Say again?
Does the red-haired pirates fight happen before the Straw Hats pirates fight?
I would think so, because the Straw Hats versus Blackbeard should be end game. Like, end of the series. Like, that should be right. Like, after their fight, EOS is like right there. We wrapping this shit up. Depending on how Oda does it, it's gonna be some big battle royale shit. But I'm guessing that Shanks and Luffy don't get to meet up. If not meet up, they do meet up, but they don't get to spend long. They don't get to enjoy that for real, because it's probably the last time they'll ever see each other. It's either gonna be they never see each other, or that'll be the time they ever see each other. It's gonna be one of those.
Okay. Hey, I'm not mad at your perspective on that at all. My phone is about to die, and so is my laptop. So I think this is perfect timing to end on this note. But we had some super in-depth conversation. like I said, my eyes are enlightened more towards Lucci's light. I'm excited to see how the show continues from here and how they're gonna uplift Lucci and his character. I'm excited to see Smoker get redemption that he deserves. 'Cause I do think it's gonna happen. I think me and you just differ on like the power scaling of how strong he is gonna get, but we'll see. Like I said, I was a huge Smoker fan. The start of the show, I just want what's best for Smoker. So yeah, I'm very against the agenda for him to join the Straw Hats. That's not.
I'm not. That wasn't my agenda. That was my boy in the chat. My boy Gooper's agenda.
No, for sure. Not true. Like if it would have happened, I mean, you've been with us from the jump. The pin is there, but I got more respect for Smoker than that. Yeah, it can't happen to me. But yeah, bro, great talking with you. Soon, got to tap in with you because we're gonna have another guest on our live with us. So y'all stay tuned for that. Gonna connect with you on some dates.
Yeah, I got some people too. So yeah, let's definitely get that popping.
Dope. Yeah, that's all coming soon. Until next time, y'all. Just Vinny.
Sir.